We are live on the streams. Let's go find everybody and make sure it's up. Okay, well that was fast. It jumped right up. Okay. Excellent. Good, here we are. Waiting for people to jump on. It's a little slow tonight. The stream, there we go. The stream to Facebook. Hello, Diane from Tennessee. There we go. Now we're jumping on. Charlotte, Mississippi. One of my long distance patients saw a parasite. Fantastic. Thank you, Brian. Jessica from Nebraska. Ithaca, New York. Susan, I love you guys up in Ithaca, New York, too. As you know, Ithaca is an old stomping ground. Not official stomping ground, but close by. Let's see. Illinois, Donna. I'm going to talk about Illinois tonight. A little Chicago tonight. As much as I love Illinois, and I love Chicago is a beautiful city. I'm going to go into that later. But there's some news out of Chicago. Peggy from Wisconsin. Belinda from Alaska. Fantastic. What time is it in Alaska right now? Well, aren't they Pacific? Yeah, I think. I don't know. I know Alaska's a long ways away. Charmin from Ithaca. From Syracuse. Fantastic. John from Southern Indiana. Okay, I think that was, yeah, it went fast. Southern Indiana, John. Fantastic. Dayton, Texas, Charlie. So, as your names are rolling, I'll help, but I'm going to let you know right here. So, I keep getting asked about emails, and people say emails weren't getting answered. Guess what? Go to that website. It'll make your life easier, okay? www.noblepatriothealth.com. It will make your life a lot easier if you want to work with me.
It's actually work with Dr. Dean.
It's workwithdradean.com.
Sorry. I'm the tech guy. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, we're working on that website. I will get to it in a second. Anyway, Travis, Wisconsin. Marie, Minnesota. Jared, Connecticut. You guys got zero notification you're on? Yeah, I know, because Facebook messes with stuff. So I actually talked to my website builder today, and that is coming faster. It's going to be coming faster because you guys aren't getting notified. I have close to 100,000 followers between all the different places I have, and it doesn't bring you all in because they don't want the truth being told, so they pull it back. That's how social media works. That's why I said get on the email, or get on the email list. It's important because going forward, if there is a blackout or if there's a new social network, the best way to get me is here, okay? All right. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge, coming to you. And I get a new favorite shirt, right? New cool shirt. I bought this one. I saw, okay. You know how I got busted on this one? You know how this says Defiant 1776. You know how I got at this one? This is because Dr. Dean is a sucker for sales pages on Facebook. So you know how you're scrolling through your Facebook timeline and you come upon an ad? Well, Dr. Dean talks about t-shirts so much that Facebook feeds me t-shirt ads. And so I click on them because I'm a sucker for them, because I like to buy those. And so I stumbled upon this one and got it. And yeah, welcome to... Did you know that you only have to talk in your phone? Like, for example... If I say, let me go with, let's see, outside patio furniture. Outside patio furniture. I might want to buy some outside patio furniture. I don't right now. So and my phone is not on. Let's see if I get an outside patio furniture ad in the next couple of days. I bet you it does. Anyway, here we go. So, that's why I got the shirt, because I like it. And the flag, the new flag behind me. You ready? Would everyone like to see what the whole flag says? I'll step to the side so you can see it. It says, join or get stacked. So what does join or get stacked mean? Okay, It says join or get stacked because if the founding fathers were around right now, they'd be stacking bodies. I'm not making any claims. I'm not saying I would do anything like that. I'm just saying the founders. There's a great shirt out there, I think with George Washington's face on it. It says, we'd be stacking bodies by now because they wouldn't put up with this BS. That's what that means, okay? Everyone's saying ads are going to pop up. Yes, okay, let's get to the show. Enough about me or us. Okay, let's get to the show. I got to have some fun. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to show you something really cool here. Would everyone like to see something really cool? I spoke to a patient today over the phone, and let me tell you, I'm proud of all of you because I'm finding out you're going out, you're getting prepared for whatever happens in the future. And this lovely woman had no experience with guns, never shot a gun, and quite honestly, maybe was a little bit afraid or hesitant, let's say that, of guns. However, the great part was she conquered her fears, and for the first time ever, she shot a gun, got comfortable with it, and now is excited to train on a gun. But guess what? She sent me a video, and I'm going to show you the video of this wonderful woman's first time operating a handgun. So I'm pretty excited for her. I'm going to show you guys. Here you go. That is fantastic. I just want to let everyone know that is fantastic. So, well done. I'm going to obviously protect her name and his name, whoever's teaching her. However, how awesome is that first time? So, I just am really proud because honestly, I'm getting a lot of messages behind the scenes, which I really appreciate. So, I'm not saying send them to me, but I really do appreciate everyone that sent to me. So, if you want to send out kind words, I will always find them, send them over. I'm getting a lot of them. So much appreciation because everyone says they are getting prepared. And the biggest thing I hear from people is not only are they getting prepared, they feel more confident. As you know, I said in the very beginning, when you're getting prepared, whether it's getting food, whether it's getting educated, whether it's learning, whether it's shooting, doesn't matter. You feel more confident in yourself and you feel like you're ready for whatever is going to come your way. That is so important, okay? So important. And so really well done by her. That's fantastic. And she was very excited on the phone. So I really appreciate that as always. So awesome. Now, so everyone, so how are your counties and your states doing with the mask mandate, as they say? How are you doing with a mask mandate? So I'll tell you, Seminole County, Florida, where I work, they put in the mandate. It was officially in today. I will tell you, guess what? Florida doesn't care. Seminole County residents really don't care because I didn't see really any more masks than what I saw before. There might have been a couple that came in the office that were not there before, but other than that, no one cared. I don't see them as I'm driving around. And we actually looked over the mandate, the legal aspect of the mandate, and there's exemptions. So I'm a healthcare worker. I'm exempt. So there you go. Now, on top of that, there's other exemptions as well. But first of all, I'm gonna tell you, look at the mandate. You have to go look. Remember I said you got to research this stuff. Go look at the mandate. and find out what it says. Like, read it, okay? So my wife went and got it. She read through it. And of course, there's also medical exemptions as well. So make sure you're covered any way, shape, and form you can, because now you guys can decide whatever you want to do regarding a store or stores and things like that. I will just tell you, you have a right, but they're going to push back on you. So you have to decide what battles you choose to take on, what you choose not to take on, okay? That's up to you guys, all right? So in Florida, it does not appear like they care that much. Now, the other fascinating thing is I hear Disney is supposed to be opening up again soon, but they have so many mandates coming through, and they have procedures they have to go through, because someone that comes to the office works for Disney, and she said it's like a long list. They're going to regulate how many people are in the park, all these different things. So it's very interesting how this is all going to roll out. But I will tell you, Seminole County, Florida, I think Orange County too, nothing really changed. People are not wearing it necessarily. And by the way, there's no enforcement out there. I mean, the police have enough to do in their day that they don't need to go around enforcing masks as well. And I don't think they necessarily care about it. It's not something they're jumping all over. So you have to decide what you guys want for yourself. It's entirely up to you, okay? Now, I'm going to take you into some Q drops. Who wants to see some Q drops tonight? The first Q drop, you guys are not going to be very happy about, okay? Let me show it now, not from a standpoint of Q is wrong or anything's bad. Are you ready for the Q drop about Planned Parenthood? Here we go. Let me show you.
How does a tissue procurement occur in one of these situations when the entire fetus is intact in the lab?
We do dissection.
And just to be clear, you do dissection to obtain the tissues that are on the list for the day?
We do dissection to get the tissues that the researchers have requested, yeah.
They are, I mean, they have a heartbeat, don't they, at the point they would fall out?
Objection. This witness isn't in the room when that happens. This witness is not a doctor. This witness is not here to testify about the medical or biological conditions of the fetus when it's eliminated from the mother.
And by not alive, do you mean that they were not moving?
Correct.
And do you mean that they did not have a heartbeat?
It would depend.
Okay. And when you say it would depend, what do you mean?
I can see hearts that are not in an intact POC that are beating independently.
So there you go. Now, I absolutely despise Planned Parenthood. Now before that was even out, that was my feeling on Planned Parenthood. I have full and total disgust for Planned Parenthood. Now, this is the crazy part. Now, you guys know, first of all, what is Planned Parenthood for? You know it was started by eugenicists, right? It is what it is. Margaret Sanger, Bill Gates' father was involved, so it goes all the way back. Now, there's things that Planned Parenthood are about, right? Now, she's literally saying, and she said, I think did she say the baby was ejected or like expelled? I don't remember the word she used, but how about we say a baby was delivered, because that's what happens. A baby is born, is delivered, instead of, they're using very negative connotations. Now, what do they do with these babies? Now, I don't want to get morbid and sick and disgusting, but you need to know what they do if you don't know already. So they're used for many things. They are used for definitely vaccines. So vaccines have aborted fetal tissue in them, aborted fetal cell lines. So it is Stanley Plotkin is known. You can find him on all over YouTube, where he talks about using babies for vaccines and cutting up organs, right? And these babies, their heart's still beating, right? So this is total disgust. Now, what else do they use it for? everyone thought it was just vaccines until the adrenochrome thing came out. And it is population control because Planned Parenthood is a Nazi organization. It always has been. Okay, it is also for blood harvesting. Let's just use that word, okay? And then on top of that, I have a feeling there's much deeper things involved as well. But that goes into the things that may or may not be living in the underground bases. All right. So non-human entities that are in underground bases, and that goes into the whole the Draco world. So some people don't like to go there. Remember I said, you confront what you're willing to confront, right? Simple as that. But there's some really dark stuff regarding this. And this was basically her testifying that that's what she's seen. So, and that's what she was actually a part of. Now, she is not the only one. Not the only one at all. All right? So, you have to know about that. Now, I'm going to move on because I don't love to stay on Planned Parenthood. I think everyone at this point knows about it. And when it comes to kids, I really don't love going down that rabbit hole. I do, and I understand it, and I've seen it, and I still research it. But I don't like to stay on very long because it's such a negative energy that it's just not worth staying on. Basically, we have to save children. That's what we do, right? We have to help and serve, but we have to save children. That's how we save our society and our civilization. Now, here is a picture that Q dropped, the Twitter feed Q dropped, and it's basically saying this is not edited. There's no filter, and look at the halo of light striking. Let me take you to the Twitter feed. Now here's the first picture. Now check that out. So whatever that is, that was over New York City today. Over New York City today. Now let me take you to the next one because it actually moves. It's moving. So here you go. It's moving. What is this? I do not know. Okay, a halo of light. That's what it is. They dropped 4 pictures. Look how bright that is. There's lightning inside of it. Now I am not a expert in the lightning realm. So if anyone knows if this is actual phenomenon, go ahead. But Q has some other ideas. All right. And there's that lightning again with the halo either starting or ending. All right. So very, very fascinating. Someone said a portal. It could be a portal. For anyone who doesn't understand portals, maybe we'll do another show on portals. It could be blue beam. Yes, it could be. But it's very, very intense. All right. So I'll keep an eye on that. I don't know what that is. Okay. Now let's watch this cool video. Canada. Where are my Canadians? Give me a comment. Give me a little hand. Give me a raise of the hand. Where are my Canadians at? Because this is a Canadian video. Here we go.
The White House has already gotten this electronically, and they have given us a receipt. So I'm going to walk to the embassy with anybody that will come with me, and I'm going to deliver this. Okay? Okay. Where we go one, we go on. Thank you. God bless you all.
So the Canadians are joining in. So thank you to all my Canadian fans out there and all those Canadian patriots out. Because guess what? Keep in mind, you can be an American patriot, but you also can be a Canadian patriot. You can be an Australian patriot. Patriot is someone who loves their country. It's pride, right? Pride for your country. So America is not the only one that's allowed to use the patriot word, okay? Patriot is global for each individual country. And it's very important that everyone knows that because we need patriots from around the world pulling their country together and making them also great again. So I thought that was very fascinating. Now, going into that, regarding the president, so I got a question the other day that I thought was very interesting, and I have to answer this question because a lot of people are saying things like, why is the president? So someone actually directly asked me in the office the other day, why isn't the president doing anything about the riots in the states, in the cities, etc.? And this is not the first person to ask me. Many have asked me. And they said, why isn't he doing anything about it? Like, he can just stop it. And I said, he could, but that's not his job. So, what is the president doing? Why is he allowing Chaz or Chop, which ended today, by the way, just so you know. Why does he not step in and stop these cities and states from doing what they're doing or taking down the statues? Well, he's actually doing something called obeying the Constitution of the United States. And that is very important. So the states, they're over themselves. The job of the President of the United States is not to dictate what all the states do. The job of the president is to essentially, obviously, look over the country, be commander-in-chief, right? And make sure things are going properly between other nations and things like that, but make sure we are intact in our government within the United States. But his job is not to tell New York what to do. His job is not to tell Florida what to do. His job is not to tell California what to do. States are supposed to operate and manage themselves. So I'm actually very happy he's not jumping in. I don't want him to jump in until it's absolutely 100% required, because the states and the cities and the towns must manage themselves, right? That's sovereignty. That's how that works, right? So do not expect him to jump in until it gets horribly bad to the point where, like, okay, the nation is under attack, is under threat. We need to jump in and stop. Now, he's said a few things that he'll jump in if necessary, but keep in mind, those are some idle threats. Just making sure people are obeying their own local laws, right? So he's not supposed to do that. On top of that, I actually think he wants the states that are out there who suck and have horrible leadership. I shouldn't say the states suck. The states are great. The leadership sucks, right? The leadership is horrible. There is nothing good about some of this leadership out here. So he's letting them implode on themselves, right? He's letting them show their true colors. Like, let Newsom look like an idiot. Let Newsom bankrupt this state. We're sorry that it's affecting Californians, but Californians have to take their own state back. Illinois, you have to take your own state back. Ohio, take your own state back. Washington State, take your own state back. New York, take your own state back. Any other liberal state out there, take your own state back. If you're in a city, take your own city back. Welcome to the way government is supposed to operate. The founders gave you a specific way to run government from local all the way to federal. Run it the way you're supposed to do. The president's going to let you sit there. If you're an idiot and don't know how to run your state, he's going to let you fall flat on your face. It's not his job to come in and dictate. So actually be really proud and really happy that the president is not violating the Constitution in this manner. This is actually a good thing. So keep an eye on it. Now, speaking of terrible leaders, let me take you to this idiot. All right. Yes. And I'm allowed to call this person an idiot. I don't know if this person is a man or woman. That haircut, God help this person. This haircut is Don Kingish, but it's a female. So I don't know what to tell you. But Mayor Lightfoot is a train wreck. I have showed you video in the past. I've showed you a video in the past, right? Where she talks about obeying the New World Order. That's what she said. So, Chicago, 75% increase in shootings in June. So she's doing a phenomenal job, right? So NBC5 reported that murder subsequently rose to with 78% more murders in June 2020 versus June 2019. What a train wreck, right? An absolute train wreck. Looking at the first 6 months of 2020, they witnessed a 42% increase in shootings and 34% increase in homicides, right? This woman is not fit for office. If you're in whatever district or area she's in, if it's just Chicago, someone needs to run against her. Like, at this point, this is ridiculous. Now, I will tell you, I have been to Chicago several times, and I'll tell you, I think aesthetically and from a look standpoint, Chicago is an absolutely gorgeous city. Very nice people. The restaurants are amazing. The nightlife is wonderful. The shows are wonderful. Like, I've been there several times. Went out for entertainment. It was fantastic. The city is beautiful. However, I did notice one thing. I remember actually getting up one morning. I was in a seminar, so I got up early, went out to get coffee. There's a phenomenal coffee shop a couple blocks around the corner from the Hard Rock Chicago where I was staying. Hard Rock Hotel in Chicago, right downtown. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I've been there several times, and every time I go to Chicago, I go to that coffee shop, and the first thing I noticed was the people were wonderful. They were very nice, very liberal, very like hippie-ish, very like, that whole thing, but they're still very nice. But on the window of most of their stores is a little circle that has a gun and a line through it, meaning gun-free zone. So Chicago is a gun-free zone, and yet look at all the killings, right? And then you take states and cities that are more conservative. Not many cities are conservative, but you take states that are conservative, and homicide and murder, homicide and deaths, I should say, are down, right? So this is what happens when let me share a natural law with you. When a business, a government, a person is doing really well, meaning they produce really good things, right? It means they're doing well. They should do more of it, right? And they'll get better results as they do it. More and more results, right? So if something's going up, you reward it, right? You reward it. Now, what happens if someone's not doing something good? If it's going down, right? Bad, not producing anything. You don't reward that. So let me give you an example. If your child does a really good job on like studying and does a project or like a report or something like that and just does a phenomenal job, and they come home and like say they got an A, what do? You reward that. Why do you reward that? Because they did a phenomenal job. When my daughter comes home and she's done something really good, or she's won a certificate for swimming or something like that, we go out to dinner, or we go to the store, we grab her something. Nothing crazy, but your reward for good things. Now, you don't reward for bad things. Now, what if someone's doing something that's going down, meaning Chicago, right? Chicago has rising crime, not a good thing. If you give them more money, if you give them more money, they're going to actually go the wrong way. So what's happening is Chicago right now is the kid who doesn't study. Chicago is the city that doesn't finish their work on time, doesn't get good grades. They're going down. If you reward them, they will continue to do bad things. This is why, one of the reasons why our federal government should not be giving money, especially to sanctuary cities or any other areas that are not doing something good. Now, I'm not saying we should give money to the cities and states that are doing good, because obviously we have to go back to the Constitution. But my whole point is Chicago is producing very bad things, meaning they should not be rewarded for it. Does that make sense? They should absolutely not be rewarded for it. And sometimes they are, because they have very, very corrupt politicians. Okay? I just want you to know that. Now, going forward, let me show you the next thing. So, did anyone hear about the Supreme Court blocking the funding for Soros-backed organizations? Here we go. The Supreme Court, this was just yesterday, blocked funding for the Soros-backed NGOs over absence of anti-prostitution pledge. So it is denied federal funding to billionaire financier George Soros' international anti-AIDS organizations, ruling that in order to access the federal cash, the groups must explicitly oppose prostitution, right? So as you go through this, now why is this important? I'm not necessarily so worried about this part here, and I'm not worried about this particular one. The reason I like this is because, quite honestly, remember how I told you George Soros is funding the Antifa groups and all these riots? The problem is he's not funding them directly. He's funding them through other organizations that appear to be good on the outside. But this lays the groundwork for the fact if in the future we want to go after these people, the Supreme Court is not going to turn away. They'll actually rule in the favor because there's precedent. All right? That's why it's so important to know exactly what's going on at all times in government. You know, if you want to go, a great website is actually the Department of Justice website, where they actually show what they're doing every single day. You have to stay on top of this stuff at all times. It's that important, okay? Because right now, they have to take Soros down, unless he's already taken down. Because keep in mind, Soros could have already been off in the background, and we just haven't seen it yet. Because you remember, there is the whole theory that all these people are gone in the background, and it's already taken care of. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. Not positive, but we'll see. It could be, okay? It could be. And how huge would that be, right? It'd be huge. So anyway, moving on to the next one. Who is for Michigan, or who is from Michigan? Because I have something to show to you folks who are from Michigan. And this is really, really important, okay? Who is from Michigan? Let me see a show of hands. Let me see a lovely show of hands. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Let me show you. Here we go. Everyone, now remember, everyone called me a conspiracy theorist. Here we go. Here's a conspiracy theorist for you. Look at what Michigan is doing. Michigan is setting up, this was today, Michigan is trying to set the foundation for passing human microchipping legislation. That is what they are setting up for. This is how crazy this is, okay? This is how human microchipping works. They do this. All right? It's the highly controversial bill. It's called the Microchip Protection Act and is sponsored by Representative Brana Kahl. The act is House Bill 5672, and now that it's passed the state House, it will move to the state Senate. If the Senate passes, Governor Whitmer is expected to sign it into law. Down here, it says, this is Brana, whoever that is, with the way technology has increased over the years, and as it continues to grow, it's important Michigan job providers balance the interests of the company with their employees' expectations of privacy. Microchipping has been brought up in many conversations as companies across the country are exploring cost-effective ways to increase workplace efficiency. While these miniature devices are on the rise, so are the calls of workers to have their privacy protected. So they're having a battle right now. They're actually having a battle for the ones who want this versus the ones who don't want this. A lot of the businesses want this. People are starting to get a little worried about the privacy. So let me show you. Here is the actual bill. So you can actually go look this bill up. They are forming the structure or the skeleton of this bill. So even if this gets knocked down, the fact that they say, no, this violates public and private rights, what they're going to do is they're going to use it as the structure to build the next one. And it's only 3 pages, guys. It's actually, I mean, it's not even 3 pages. Technically, it is 2 pages. So if you're in Michigan, go through and get that read, all right? Very, very important to get that read, because we do not want crazy stuff like this happening. Now, I will tell you, years ago, I was the one yelling and screaming from the rooftop. Okay? Yelling and screaming from the rooftop that they want to microchip us. They want to microchip us. I couldn't do enough videos, etc. on they want to microchip us right in the hand for a new world order, globalist world order. They are trying to force this in right now, and you need to be prepared for it, okay? We'll drop the links in later on at the end of the show. I don't have the access to it right now, but we'll get that out to you. But go look it up. It is, hold on. Let me bring it. Let me look at the name. Okay, I'll show it to you again. You can actually look. There we go. You can actually look up House Bill number 5672 for Michigan. Now, keep in mind, this is solely the skeleton or structure that they'll use for actually implementing it. All right. Very important that you guys know this. Make sense? Because they will do their best to try to force this. Now, on top of that, we have Fauci being a moron. So, are they trying to set this all up through the COVID thing? Is that what they're doing? Well, let me show you this article. By the way, did you see the video where Dr. Fauci, when he had the camera on, he had his mask on, and when the camera went off, he took it off like this. The Fauci doesn't even know how to take a mask off. Do you realize if COVID's on his mask and he touches it, now he puts it on his face, he puts it on his arms, legs, etc. There was a video out there where he took as soon as the cameras went off, he took the mask off. He's lying. He's a fraud. He's a piece of trash who is screwing the American public. And I don't care if he knows that I said that or not, because at this point, this is out of control. But check this out. A Texas lieutenant governor says he doesn't know what he's talking about. So down here, Texas lieutenant governor Dan Patrick on Tuesday lambasted Anthony Fauci over his assessment of the recent surge in coronavirus cases in the U.S., claiming that his state did not need advice from the nation's top infectious disease expert. Fauci said that he's concerned about states like Texas that skipped over certain things. He doesn't know what he's talking about, Patrick said on Fox News after Fauci testified before a Senate committee about the U.S. response to the coronavirus outbreak. We haven't skipped over anything. The only thing I'm skipping over is listening to him, Patrick added. He has been wrong every time on every issue. I don't need his advice anymore. We'll listen to a lot of science. We'll listen to a lot of doctors, and Governor Greg Abbott, myself, and other state leaders will make the decision. No, thank you, Dr. Fauci. Okay, let me see if this works.
Reality is a lot different. We've had 2,424 people die, and New York has had over 31,000. Even California has had almost 3 times as much as Texas. And remember, Laura, those 2 states have been locked down the whole time while we have been open. So locking down doesn't work. If it did, those 2 states would be doing better than Texas. Fauci said today that he's concerned about states like Texas that skipped over certain things. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We haven't skipped over anything. The only thing I'm skipping over is listening to him. You know, you have a lot of doctors on your show from day one. Your doctors have been right almost every time, and he has been wrong every time on every issue. I don't need his advice anymore. We'll listen to a lot of science. We'll listen to a lot of doctors, and Governor Abbott, myself, and other state leaders will make the decision. No, thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Okay, so there you go. He is giving it to it like it is. Fauci is a joke. He's a liar. And the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, is speaking out about it so huge because everyone knows at this point, okay? Everyone knows at this point that Fauci's a liar. So it's just a matter of time before this plays out, and it's all under control. It's fantastic. Now, before I go to my health segment tonight, okay, there's an interesting thing going around Twitter tonight, okay? Now, I'm going to say 2 words that you're going to have to go look up, all right? So, some of you may not want to look it up because it might go down a rabbit hole that you're not ready for, but for those who do want to look it up, or either maybe you've already heard these words or you want to go look it up, there was a lot of Twitter talk tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, and I don't know why it popped up, but it was regarding Melania Trump. So the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump. And I have told you guys this from day one. Melania has a interesting look to her. Not just because she's a very pretty woman, but she just has an interesting look. Something about her. There's this aura around her and the way she operates and how she communicates. She's not always seen, but when she's seen, it's a certain way, etc. Has anyone ever noticed that? Okay. Now, I said that I don't think Melania is from here. Okay. What I mean by that is, I don't think she's from here. There's something about her that seems different. Okay. Something about that seems different. Now, they were talking about on Twitter today that she's either Palladian or Arcturian. Okay? Palladian or Arcturian. You can go look that up for yourselves. Maybe I'll do it in the group someday, okay? And I'll talk about that. Maybe it has something to do with the halo coming down in New York City today that I just showed you that Q dropped. Maybe that has something to do with it. But she's interesting. Now, I will tell you, what did they say on Twitter? On Twitter, most of them were saying Palladian. So you have to go look that up, all right? People are going to either love me for me saying Palladian or they're going to hate me for saying Palladian, okay? And then you got to go look up Arcturian. That's a whole other thing, okay? Just remember, every time you think I'm crazy on that, go back and look at the Space Force logo again. And wonder why on the Space Force. Let me show you the Space Force. Let me take you to the Space Force logo, okay? Because everyone sometimes gets mad at me when I talk about this, all right? But you got to see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay. There's the Space Force logo, right? Now the question is, what is this star? And then what are these sets of stars? And then what are these sets of stars? All right. Now, I'm not going to tell you what those stars are. I'm just going to tell you that you should go look it up. Yes, the other person who looks very not from here is Ivanka. Something about their face. Actually, it was being said on Twitter that every single one of Trump's daughters and Melania do not look like they're from it. The way their faces are shaped, the way they look, like there's something about it. I don't know if anyone else sees that kind of stuff, but I picked up on it a long time ago when I first saw Melania, okay? It's very fascinating for those of you who like to jump down those rabbit holes, all right? And that goes into Project Looking Glass, which we will talk about more in the near future. Now, I want to talk to you about stress, all right? I know everyone out there, or the majority of people out there, is very stressed to a greater or lesser degree, and trust me, I have stress in me too. And if you want to work with me, from now on, I don't think you have to email gethealthy@drjasondean.com. You can actually go to this website right here, noblepatriothealth.com. And you will get straight to me. I have been listening to people kind of yell at me, but it's okay. I understand. Or like they want to work with me, but they've been having trouble. We've been handling emails, but I want to make it easier for everybody, okay? Right here, noblepatriothealth.com. You'll go through a little thing there, website. It'll ask you a couple questions. It's actually really cool. It's going to ask you what you want to work with, and then it sets you up to work with me, okay? So there you go. You can do that. All right. Now, stress. You're dealing with stress. This is a question I get often regarding stress. All right. Here we go. What can we do to avoid stress? And one of the big things that's asked is, or I have to answer, obviously, is the carb intake or the sugar intake. How many out there right now, are sugar junkies? Or how many out there like their carbs? How many like their carbs? All right. Let's talk about sugar. Now, we know refined sugar is not good, but I get a question quite often. And I'm going to answer this question tonight. And some people are not going to like to answer this question, okay? Because I know you're all sugar junkies just like I was, right? What about fruit? That is the question I get all the time. Does anybody else have the question, what about fruit, when I ask about carbs? Okay? How many people out there, I'm looking at my comments right now, how many of you have asked or want to ask, but what about fruit? What about fruit? I'm going to tell you about fruit tonight, okay? And you're not going to love it. What about fruit? Now, if we were back thousands of years ago, I would have said, go crazy. If you lived in the jungle of the Amazon right now, or Costa Rica, or South America somewhere, I would say, go for it. Right? Why? Well, because it's untouched, untainted fruit. Now, everyone is addicted to fruit in America. Can I give you a brutal reality? Fruit in America is been modified and is no longer fruit. And trust me, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, because guess what? I was a fruit junkie as well. And I gave it up for years on end at a time, because it was like I was a banana junkie, which is probably one of the highest sugar fruits out there you can have. Now, fruit has been modified to the point where it's no longer fruit. Have you noticed, like, if you open up and do a cross section of a banana, there's little seeds in the middle, but they're very tiny. Did you know the original banana had so many seeds that it was actually hard to eat and it wasn't that sweet? What the agriculture business has done is they have actually developed genetically modified fruits, so they're even sweeter, probably about 100 times sweeter than the original fruit was. Fruit was not designed to be as sweet as it is today, or as large as it is today. So let me give you an example. Not of a fruit, well, actually a fruit and a vegetable. I went probably, 4 or 5 years ago now. My wife and I took my daughter and we went with my in-laws. We went to Greece. Now, we went to Santorini, which is a tiny little island. And you have to go up the side of the mountain, basically, that's sticking out of the ocean. And we were in Santorini, and we actually went to a wine tasting place, okay? First of all, they showed us the grapes, and they were really tiny grapes. Very tiny. And when they made the wine was not your typical wine. Like, I drank a couple small little glass, like not like a full glass, the small little ones. And I was already getting like a really good buzz going on, because it's an intense, strong, concentrated grape, right? Now, they also had food there. For example, they had tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella. Is that how they say it in Italian? That's how my wife would say it, right? So, the tomatoes, their regular tomatoes, were actually this big. Now, our tomatoes are like this big. Their tomatoes were like this big. And let me tell you, when you bit into it, it was a flavor experience behind all your possible idea. Now, the interesting thing is, Santorini does not import their food because it's too difficult. Like, you actually have to climb the side of an island mountain to get up to the top where the actual town is. So they don't really import their food. So they grow all of their food there. So their grapes, their vegetables, you name it. That was real food. A large tomato is a genetically modified food that we've created out of thin air with typically not even a lot of seeds anymore compared to what they used to be. And your fruit and your vegetables are not the same anymore. So when people say to me, what about fruit? Well, not the fruit that Americans are eating. Now, am I going to say you can never eat it? No, not going to say that. Obviously, you can go very sparingly on it, but you need to get to the point where you don't eat a ton of fruit. It's not a huge thing to you, okay? Because that is a gigantic carb in your life, okay? Now, people are like, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? as I have said, you're going to eat good, high-quality fatty meats, and if you're not a meat eater, then you have to find really good other quality things of protein and fat. So if you're like me, high-fat meats, vegetables if you want, green vegetables preferred, and lots of fat, butter, let's see, ghee, yogurts are good, olive oil, all right, coconut oil. There are tons of fats out there, right? When you eat that way and you eat really high quality, you're not hungry anymore. All right, that really is how you're supposed to eat. So, yes, I get the question all the time, what about fruit? I just explained fruit to you. Today's fruit is genetically modified and it's far sweeter than it was ever supposed to be. So when you eat that fruit, your carb level goes up higher, right? Now, if you ate fruit or vegetables from a place like, say, Santorini, you're not going to blow up your carb number. And they're also used to eating it over there, okay? Very, very different. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But I hope that helps because a lot of people ask me that, and I have to, every single person that works with me has to go through the fruit thing. Most everybody, because they're going through the carbs, okay? Now, I said today that I was going to add something to the giveaway. Is everybody ready to see what has been added to the giveaway? So I'm actually pretty excited about this. So let me bring up the website, patriotgiveaway.com, okay? So here we go. I'm going to show you what's been added. I'm pretty excited about this, okay? Here we go. I'm pretty excited about the new giveaway, okay? Let's rock and roll. Boom! Now, I'm excited. Here we go. Let me actually take this away for a second so you can see the bottom. There you go. Whoops. Let me take that away too. Oh, how is that there? Hold on. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Okay. Basically, the flags at the bottom right. Do you see the flags at the bottom right? I'm very excited about these. You get original Betsy Ross colonial flag, and you get a Q flag. Now, when I say you get a flag, I'm not talking about a little 3-inch by 5-inch flag. I'm talking legit flag. So who would like an added Betsy Ross flag and a black Q flag? Yes, we have added these. It's over a $500 value now. Now, these are from USPatriotFlags.com. USPatriotFlags.com. And if you want to go there and also buy some, it's a phenomenal company. They're fantastic. I know the owner a little bit, and he's a great individual. I'm going to give you a coupon code if you'd actually like to go get your own flags as well. I would love for you to support this amazing patriot. The coupon code is capital N, capital P, capital G 15, NPG 15. However, he's an amazing gentleman, and he is putting in 2 flags. We're talking large, full-size flags. Betsy Ross, original colonial flag, and the Q black flag. And I will tell you, let me tell you, I have inside information on this, okay? A little inside information. The gentleman that owns this flag company, he knows about Q. He knows about what's going on. And so I am so happy to be giving him some of this business, but also giving away 2 of his flags to the lucky winner of this. So, let me go back to this because this is I love the fact that we have so much to provide you guys in the giveaway. So go over there, patriotgiveaway.com, patriotgiveaway.com. I love it. Go over there and get signed up for that. And also, I think there's more game in there. There's more parts of the game. You can win more points. We put more points in there for you. How does that sound? Awesome. I love it. Now, who has questions for Dr. Dean? Who has questions for Dr. Dean? I'll answer the best I can. And if you have questions about health-related stuff, I will let you know if I can help you or not. But ultimately, If you want to go through the process like so many have with me, because my schedule is slammed, but it's a good thing. I love it. I love helping all my noble patriots. You can go to this website right here. Right there. There you go. Head there. Okay? All right. Let's take some questions. So the coupon code, and it's uspatriotflags.com. The coupon code is NPG. N is in Nancy. P is in Paul. G is in golf. 15. There you go. Awesome. Do we need iodine? You do need iodine. And guess what? One of the first products that we are coming out with here with Patriot Nutrition is iodine. So stay tuned for that. It is Edgar Casey detoxified iodine. But yes, you must have iodine for your thyroid. Iodine is an essential mineral to the human body. Okay? Excellent. Is Junior alive? So I am starting to truly believe there's something with Junior. The reason why was that helicopter video where the president was walking with, I believe, maybe a commander, the female, and there's a guy in the helicopter that looked, obviously from a distance, is blurry, but there's something about that video. So I am still a 50-50 because I have to be a little skeptical on this because we're bringing back somebody from the dead that we thought died in a plane crash that Hillary Clinton took out. And so it's going to be completely insane if he really is alive and he shows up. But I think it'll be awesome as well, okay? Let's see. Best vitamins to restore your body after addiction. Oh, Sarah, good question. You must have B vitamins. And I will tell you, if anybody out there has had an addiction problem, has had, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or anything, let me know, because I actually get a lot of people that I work with because my mom had addiction problems both to drugs and alcohol. And so I know that world really well. I help them out and I load them up so that their body can regain its health. I actually recently just worked with a younger woman, and literally within 2 to 3 months working with her food, loading her up with B vitamins, she had a drug problem. And she went from still having cravings for it to none and not even thinking about it anymore. So that was really huge. But I actually love working with people who've had problems in the past because my mom did. And I just enjoy working with those folks because usually it's not something that they were intending to do. Obviously, a bad choice was made. They went down a really rough road. But I love helping those people and getting them back on track. Okay, I am not a rehab center, but I do like helping them get their nutrition back. Okay. Yes, nicotine. I have a lot of things that we can help with nicotine. I use homeopathy for nicotine. That works really well. Yes, detoxing the system, the lungs of previous smoking. Absolutely, yes. So I work with several right now who are on lung stuff because of smoking. Absolutely. Pelosi's sneaking gun control into the stimulus. She will try to. They won't let her. It won't happen. And by the way, if it does, you do realize even if they took away or tried to take away the Second Amendment, we would end up in civil war because patriots like yourself and me, we're not going to put up with that. I think we're well over 100 million Americans being gun owners and trillions of rounds of ammo. Americans are not going down. Okay. Someone asked about my hat. I will actually have to find out where my hat came from because I actually forgot. I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know, okay? I actually love this hat. I'm a big hat person. What was the name of that flag company? uspatriotflags.com. The coupon code N is in Nancy, P is in Paul, G is in golf, 15, okay? Audio is in and out. That is a social media problem. We are good on my end, okay? I'm looking at my levels. I'm going to go over the mother effer gene. That's what we call it in the office, and I think a lot of other people do, is the mother effer gene. I'm going to go over that with everybody. I'm going to go over that, and I'm also going to go over the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis as well. Would everyone like that? Because I can tell you how to shut off stress and why the whole stress cycle happens the way it is, okay? Let's see. Don't we all have different digestion types? Yeah, everyone has a little different digestion. So, I mean, I have no problem. I typically work out with people what to eat on a case-by-case basis. They tend to go one direction, but case-by-case basis. This shirt and this flag came from the same company. There's your flag again. Join or get stacked. That comes from the founders who would have piled bodies by this point. I think it's fantastic. How can Biden run for president if he's in cahoots with Obamagate? Because we have a corrupt government. That's why. Hopefully that's what we're getting rid of and destroying. Okay, a couple more questions because you guys are fun. Let's see. Yes, Emily, thank you for posting that like that. We have the website for the flags posted well, but keep in mind the giveaway, you're going to get 2 flags. Can I recommend a holistic vet? Kathy, you are local. Let me know when you're in, and I will send you to a holistic vet. Absolutely. I have one holistic vet who is really good. Okay? Opinion on dairy. That is different for everybody. Now, I will tell you one across the board. No commercial dairy. Commercial dairy is very bad. Okay? Hormones, antibiotics, stress, steroids, you name it. Okay? If you're going to do dairy, it really has to be organic and raw if possible. I know you have places out there where you're not allowed to have raw milk. Oh well, do it anyway. You are an animal, and it says consumption for animals only. I'll just let you know that, okay? Now, everyone's also different. Myself, I cannot drink milk. I have to be very careful on yogurt, and I have to be very careful on sour cream, which I both like, okay? Now, when I do cream, I do organic cream in my coffee, and I can only do a little bit. Now, I have actually tried to do, so I have a organic grass-fed cream, and then I've also tried just organic but vegetarian-fed cream, and I start having reactions, like very, very congested. I don't get congested if I do organic cream. All right, so everyone is a little different, but I can only do a little bit of that, or I actually start having problems. Now, my wife, on the other hand, my wife is actually Italian. My wife and my daughter can pound friggin' dairy all day long, and they have 0 problems. So my daughter apparently got some of the Italian gene from my wife, because no matter how much they consume, they don't have any issues with it. So, yes, pasteurization is actually bad. Now, I'm not saying you can't have pasteurization, but what it does is it kills off all the good bacteria in the body, in the cream or the milk or the dairy. Okay, so yes, get raw whenever possible. I do have pasteurized cream because, quite honestly, I'm already paying like $5 for a little thing of organic dairy, and I bought raw cream before, but the problem is it's like $15 a jar. And I use the whole bottle in like 2 cups of coffee. So I really don't feel like paying $15 for 2 cups of coffee. So that's why. So I get away with organic grass-fed right now, okay? That is pasteurized. Okay. 1 or 2 more questions. Okay. What is my favorite butter brand? Well, if you're going to do raw, get it from your local farmer. If not, we use Kerrygold quite a bit. And then there's one other one. We have the same company that we get our eggs from, and I don't remember the name off the top of my head. What I'll do is I'll put a list together of our favorite brands, and we'll do that, okay? How does that sound? Because I don't remember all the brands. But we do use Kerrygold quite a bit. Or raw butter. Raw butter is better. Let's see. What kind of coffee do we drink? We get organic coffee. One of my favorites, you got to find out if you can get it organic. We only drink organic coffee. The reason why, one, because there's a lot of pesticides on regular coffee, so you're taking in pesticides, glyphosate, etc. Also, there tends to be a lot of mold in certain coffee brands. I don't know which ones they are, but there's a lot of mold in coffee brands. So with coffee, you have to be as organic as possible, okay? I used to drink organic only unless I went to Starbucks. I used to be a Starbucks junkie. I've given that up. And for 2 reasons. One, because it's crappy coffee, but other reasons because Soros is indirectly helping fund it. So I try to stay away from, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still go sometimes if I'm out of town and that's the only thing around. But for the most part, I've given that up probably, 80+%. So that's good. Good. Organic coffee. Excellent. And cool. One more question, then we'll finish it for the night. Mushroom coffee is actually very good sometimes. If you use, or is it Organo? Organo is actually really delicious coffee that's mushroom coffee. Okay, last one. I think I just saw the last one was my take on protein powders. There's only one protein powder that I like. One. And it's called One World Whey. And yes, some people are going to go, well, it's whey, it's dairy. Whey is not dairy. Okay? So I'm going to get this over and over again. People always say whey is dairy. Whey is not dairy. Now, it's in dairy, but whey can be extracted out of dairy through a cold press process. So I personally prefer a good whey. Now, I don't consume whey protein, so I'm only saying if you want to use it. I don't take it. I used to off and on if I needed it, but I don't consume it now. So I'm not saying you have to, but if you do want it, One World Whey is is the best one out there. Why? Because it's completely clean, it's organic, grass-fed animals, and there's no fillers. So it's fantastic. It is a fantastic whey protein. Okay, awesome. Dr. Tim McFadden, hello, sir. Good to see you. Awesome. So that's good for tonight, folks. Again, if you would like to win the contest, go to patriotgiveaway.com. If you'd like flags of your own, go to uspatriotflags.com. NPG15 is the coupon code. And then if you'd like to work with Dr. Dean, I have no problem. I would love to help you. I'm helping lots of people. Right here, noblepatriothealth.com. Okay, we have some awesome, more fun things coming. Do me a favor as always. I want you to go serve somebody. I want you to go help somebody in need. I want you to prepare. I want you to get ready for whatever comes our way. And let's restore the Republic. Let's make America amazing again. All right? I love you all. Thank you for showing up. I hope there was value in this tonight for you. And let us know anything I can help you with, anything I can inform and educate you on. I'm happy to do it. We are here to serve you. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, signing off. You guys have an amazing, wonderful, fantastic evening. Take care.